Shalawam Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH by YAHAWASHI, the Buanas, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam select out there doing this work of faith and labor for love, true sincerity. Right, this is the second part of concerning the Day of Atonement and fasting, and this is the fasting aspect of it. And first and foremost, before getting into it, because the articles and things I'm going to get into, it pretty much speaks on a lot about the physical aspect of it. But we're not doing this fast, for the physical. It's all for the spiritual. But in turn, the way the Most High programmed everything with our spirit being trapped, in these earthen vessels, this flesh, we receive benefits on both ends of the stick, on both sides of the coin, spiritual first and foremost, and secondarily physical. But we do this Day of Atonement, we do fasting for spiritual benefits, So I just wanted to state that first and foremost. But this is the book of John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, and the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the words of Yahweh Shai, this is what truly gives us life. Us thinking upon the word, us meditating upon the word. You know, it something that I looked up a long time ago. It stated that when it said blacks. So when so-called blacks are in tune with the scriptures, when we read in the Bible, our spiritual vibrations are at its highest frequency more than anything ever. And why is that? Because the spirit beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. That's why that's so. And we are the people of the book. We are the people of the scriptures. You know, so it's all about the spirit. All right. So I just want to get into this article. I'm gonna jump around in it. But first and foremost, matter of fact, now what's the other one? Biblical fasting. Yeah, this is it. So this is on allaboutgod.com. It's entitled Biblical Fasting. But I just want to touch on one passage. Yeah, one passage here, and it says, "Biblical fasting, is there a proper method to fasting? Biblical fasting, unlike fasting for medical or for health reasons." So this is clearly stating to you, as I said in the beginning, that the biblical fasting is not for health reasons, but in turn we receive benefits physically as well. Must be done with an attitude of seriousness and sincerity, and that's what this atonement is about. Because this is a solemn thing, you know. This is serious. This is gravely serious. This Day of Atonement. What's praying in us, asking for the Lord for forgiveness and for more mercy. So it must be done with the attitude of seriousness and sincerity. All right, and that made me think of a scripture here in the book of Sirach. I believe it's fifth chapter, 11th verse. Yeah, it's Sirach 5:11. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. So the point is, let thy life be sincere. So everything that we do, we have to do it with truth and sincerity, as we state in our greeting unto one another. And going back unto this point, it says, biblical fasting, unlike fasting for medical or health reasons, must be done with an attitude of seriousness and sincerity. When we fast, we willingly deprive the body of nourishment and the pleasurable taste of food. Okay? While we depleting our physical body for physical nourishment, because we're getting spiritual nourishment. That's why we do that. You know, the body requires food for sustenance. Therefore, our hearts and minds must be totally focused and directed towards Yahweh, so that He may be the full source of our strength during our period of fasting. And we know that the Lord is our strength. He's our strength. He's our fortress. He's our refuge. He's everything, man. So this is a part of the purpose of it, to let the Most High dwell more within us, and we dwell closer to the Most High. Because we got to remember, when we fasting, you know, it's like now we having more of a direct connection with the Most High, because when we praying and we praying unto the Lord on a daily basis, we have so many different mental obstructions that's going on within our mind. So when we pray, sometimes it's like a static there. Just think about it as a static there. Like your prayers is being heard in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? But because we may go off here and there throughout our day. You know what I'm saying? It's traveling through the tunnels, so to speak, and it's having a hard time get there. But your prayers eventually get there. But through that fasting and that prayer with seriousness and sincerity, you know, those floodgates is completely open, and it's like a direct connect. It's like direct Wi-Fi to the angels, and they picking up your prayers and delivering them unto the Lord, man. You know, that's what you got to look at this as. Fasting is having direct connection to the Most High, a better source of energy flowing to the Most High when you send those spiritual vibrations of your prayer to the heavens, and you asking for forgiveness, you asking for spiritual gifts, you praying for brothers, so on and so forth. And when we fasting, we have to recognize that also our brain cells are being repaired while we're fasting. They're having a time to clean itself of all the garbage and the filth of this world, and they're being repaired. So if our brain cells are being repaired, what does that mean? That makes us more sharper for the word, because we're cleaning out all the physical, the garbage, the cares of this world, all the mental infirmities, the mental plagues of the mind, and we leaning our minds more towards YAHAWASHI. So that can make us more. That makes us more spiritual, man. You know. And this real quick article says fasting showed to regenerate stem cells, reverse immunosuppression after 3 days. And what part did I want to hit in this? Yeah, I just jumped to here. It says over time, immune cells can be worn out and stop functioning at optimal levels. It was previously believed that there wasn't much that could be done to overcome this apart from stem cell treatments. However, the latest research shows that periodic fasting cycles actually flip some kind of regenerative switch in the body, altering the signaling pathways for homeopoietic poetic stem cells, which regenerate both blood and immunity. Okay, jumping. Yeah, I'm gonna just jump down. It says, when you starve, the system strives to save energy, and one of the things it can do to save energy is to recycle a lot of the immune cells that are not needed, especially those that may be damaged. So this happens all throughout the body. This happens all throughout the body, from the head down to the toe. All the old cells that's damaged, your body has time to actually recycle and to repair those cells. What we started noticing in both our human work and animal work is that the white blood cell count went down with prolonged fasting. Then, when you refeed, the blood cells come back. So we started thinking, where does it come from? So this article, brothers can check it out. It's pretty short, but it's just getting into the regenerative process of the body, and what fasting actually does for the body. So when we fasting, we're actually healing, spiritually first and foremost, and physically, man. And me and other brothers have talked about it numerous amount of times, that when you fast and you wake up, that next day, say if you did it from the time you will wake up, what I'm saying, first thing in the morning to the next morning, and when you wake up, you feel energized, you feel refreshed, because your body's cleaning itself of those toxins. What I'm saying, your mind is a lot clearer, you can think a lot better. What I'm saying, the scriptures are a lot more vivid to you. What I'm saying, your understanding is increased, everything, man. So fasting is a beautiful thing, you know. And I wanted to get into this article as well. Matter of fact, let me grab this other scripture. Um, like I said, this was more of an aspect of me getting into these articles and just hitting a few scriptures on this one. But this book of Galatians 5:16. It says, "Thus I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth after the spirit, and the spirit after the flesh, and these are contrary to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." Okay, so this is how it go. we want to do the things that's pleasing unto Yahweh Shemi Shai, but what the flesh is calling. We know when our spirit was right, but the flesh is constantly calling and calling for more. That's why you be feeling those hunger pains and different things like that. And within our flesh, you know, from these contaminated foods and Esau playing with the foods, we have different worms and different infestations that are trapped up within our body. So a lot of the times when you actually having hunger pains or you having a craving for some sweets or something, it's not even actually you. It's the negative infestations, the worms and the parasites that's within your body that's calling for those things, man. You know, it, it may seem weird, but hey, that's exactly how it is. You know, and when you begin to fast and you cleanse the body, you notice your cravings will go away and different things like that because you're releasing all of those negative infestations that are holding down your flesh and more importantly holding down your spirit. Thinking making your spirit more inclined to be more wanting of the flesh and more things of the flesh instead of you leaning towards things of the spirit. So in this fasting process, it's a lot that goes on with the body, and the way the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai set everything up is so beautiful when you come to the realization of all things of how it benefits first and foremost the spirit and it benefits the physical body. And since we're trapped within both in these chains of darkness, you know, all I can say, the Most High just planned it out beautifully, man. That's what I mean. That's the best way I can put. The Most High just planned it out beautifully. How one affects the other, and how us doing these spiritual fasts it trumps all, even the physical body. All right, so it says spiritual benefits of fasting, and let us not forget the powerful effects of fasting on our spiritual connection. Another one of the benefits of fasting is that it promotes we take our attention inward, that we listen, become quiet. And that quiet quality time you with you will allow, if you are willing, a greater sense of kinship with your inner being. And the scriptures talk about us examining ourselves. So you come to a higher state of awareness of yourself and knowing better. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing your ways and different things like that. Fasting opens you up so many different avenues because of the things of which you're praying for. Now the Most High is unlocking those different doors for you, those different doors to your mind. You know, um, real quick, Revelations 3, I believe it's 19. Um, yeah, as Revelations 3 and 19, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. And that's what we're doing now on this Day of Atonement. We're being zealous for the Lord, you know what I'm saying, of our, we've been chastened, we constantly getting our ass kicked within the society. We know we going off, you know what I'm saying. The flesh is getting to us at time. We struggling, we striving, we constantly trying to fight and fight and fight, so we have to repent unto the Lord. Verse 20, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. Okay? So this is what the Most High is doing. We standing at the door, we knocking, which is our prayers unto the Lord, and the Lord is opening that door. So when we fasting, it's the same process. When we fasting, and we ask for certain things, you know what I'm saying? We ask for forgiveness, the Most High is opening the door. All right, come in. I'm going to take you in. I'm going to forgive these sins. I'm going to give you these spiritual gifts that you've been asking for. You know what I'm saying? You've been a good servant. You struggling, you striving for perfection. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing. Know that your work is not going unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? We all know that the labor in which we do in the name of Yahweh Shemi Shai in the righteousness is not done in vain, man. Okay? Even to the shows that we do, where you may not get views and stuff like that. None of it is done in vain, you know. Salakia. Um, so going to this next point here, um, yeah, I'll jump up. I want to read a little more through this article. It says the benefits of fasting, affecting our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects. Can the benefits of fasting really be so broad? Yes, they can, and they are. We are so much more than a physical body, and fasting affects every part of our being. Every part, spiritually, mentally, and physical, affects every single part of our bodies, man. You know, and remember in the book of Job, matter of fact, let me grab that. So, what is it, Job 33:14 on down, I believe. Yeah, Job 33 and 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. Now, when we sleeping, you know, they according to Esau, when we sleeping, they say that our brain capability, our brain functioning is way higher levels than when we're actually awake. Now, why is that? Because the Most High is sealing our instructions, and at the same time, our body is releasing melatonin all throughout the body, which is the body's top antioxidant, which cleans and repairs cells, cleans up cancer cells, all of that. So the sleep process is a complete regenerative process. Just like when we go into the spirit world, we know who we are, we know the sins we've committed and stuff like that, and so when we been sent into the heavens, and then the scriptures say when we come back down that thou renewest the face of the earth, we're supposed to be a renewed creature, a renewed spirit. We're supposed to be better than we were before. We know we're going to make some same mistakes being in the flesh, but we're supposed to constantly be renewed and be better day by day. So the sleeping process and the fasting process is a complete regenerative process for the body, first and foremost, spiritually. I want to keep reiterating that, because the articles I'm getting into is mainly talking about the physical, but we know it's all about the spiritual first and foremost. You know, it says, when we cease from overindulgence that has become so common in our modern world, even for a short while, our lives and our priorities become clearer. Through these short whiles, occasionally, and you have a tool that will greatly add to your life. And when you fasting, you actually prolonging your life because you're regenerating cells. And when you constantly eating properly and having the right diet, you know, a lot of people wind up living longer by periodically fasting and stuff like that. It says fasting will rest the digestive system, and this is very important. Resting the digestive system, because when you rest the digestive system, you give it once more time to clean itself. Digestion is a very heavy process on a body that requires, according to Esau, at least 12 to 1300 calories. And further on in this article, it's going to mention that 65% of energy is spent digesting a heavy meal. That's why you get the itis, because your body goes down in shutdown mode because it's trying to filter and digest all those heavy food particles, the toxins, the chemicals that's in the food, so on and so forth. You know, so a rested digestive system allows for cleaning and detoxification of the body, create a break in eating patterns while shining a spotlight on them, promote greater mental clarity. That's what we seeking, at the greater mental clarity, to be able to focus more on the scriptures and focus more on the kingdom and have that tunnel vision. Okay, Matthew 6:22. Let me just grab that real quick. uh, Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body is shall be full of light. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for our mind, our eye to be single and to be full of light. And fasting helps to accomplish that, to where we can focus more at the task at hand. And that's this ministry, that's this work. Okay? Number 5, it says cleanse and heal stuck emotional patterns. Because when you go on a fasting process, and a lot of people's sugar get kind of low during the fasting process, what you may start to get a little angry, or you're going to have different emotional patterns. The longer you fast, the longer you're going to have different emotional patterns happening. That's because your body is releasing those toxins. Toxins in our body hold emotion. The liver holds emotion. Esau called the four humors. black bowel, yellow bowel, and I forgot the other two, but uh, according to Esau, the liver holds emotions, and like when we drinking affects the liver heavily, and that's they consider that the yellow bowel, and typically Jake how they is, they usually get angry and stuff and want to fight and wild out when they drinking because that holds the liver holds those emotions. So when we fasting, we're releasing a lot of emotions. So especially like a lot of women, if women fast, women that really go through it, just like how they go through it on their menstrual cycle. They're going through so many different emotional patterns, releasing all of those toxins, when they're on their menstrual cycle. So it's the same thing with fasting. You may go through little bouts and different things like that, right? So it says, lead to a feeling of physical lightness, increasing energy level, promote an inner stillness, enhancing spiritual connection. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the fasting period, for the Most High to give us mercy and to enhance that spiritual connection that we have with Yahweh Shemiah Shah. And overall, it increases your energy on all levels, And earlier, in the first video that I did to this installment, I had read a quote that had said, we have to develop spiritual stamina so when a problem occurs, we don't react out of emotion but out of wisdom, you know. So that's that increasing that energy, that promoting that inner stillness, us being able to react out of wisdom and not out of emotion, you know. So pretty much this article, it gets into different aspects, physical aspects of the detoxification process. I don't really want to hit all of this, but matter of fact, since I was on the mental and emotional things, I'll just hit this real quick. It says mental and emotional benefits of fasting. Because fasting improves mental clarity and focus, it can become a tool in your life to give you greater freedom, flexibility, and energy to get done the things and projects that are important to you. And that's this work, man. We want to flee our minds from this world so that we can focus on the Lord and have energy of the mind, so we can have that spiritual stamina, man. Mentally, that mental fortitude. We constantly looking for that clarity, so that our lamps continue to be burning for fire and truth for the name of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Okay. Um, says many experienced fasters find it helpful to fast whenever they need an additional boost for a major project or deadline. So if you're going through something, you know what I'm saying, put up a fast. You feeling them demons weighing you down, put up a fast. You're going to feel a serious release from that when you do so. Writing the paper, preparing a book presentation, getting ready for a long trip, and just in general, when you don't eat, they usually say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You can actually skip breakfast, and if you take certain types of supplementation or you take something for the mind or something, you'll feel a lot more clearer, and you can operate a lot better sometimes if you actually skip out on breakfast and maybe have a shake or a smoothie maybe a little later in the day. You know what I'm saying, around like 10 or 11 o'clock or something like that. You'll wind up actually feeling a lot better, than just to bog yourself down with a heavy meal of breakfast. Now you're weighing your mind down first thing in the morning. That's actually not good. Says artists and writers often talk of foregoing food during great creative inspiration, that it helps to keep the momentum going. So we want to keep our momentum going in this truth. So what we will constantly put in fasting as repetition, for our spiritual growth within this thing. Although beginners must be warned that this won't be the case at first, because what we gotta you're gonna be experiencing hell when you first doing it, but it takes time to get used to the fasting period. Don't fast for a big event until you are more knowledgeable about your fasting reactions and you're sure you won't get a detox headache or such. Emotionally, you will feel calmer, clearer, and happier. Fasters often report that depression lifts, goals begin to feel more obtainable as obstacles are put more into proper focus. And that's the main point which I was getting into. You should feel that things are more obtainable. The kingdom is more at hand day in day, and we should constantly see that through the prophecies, and we should not only see it, but we should actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? Those vibrations of the Lord coming back. Doctors have reported patients experience improved concentration, less anxiety, sleeping better, and waking more refreshed. You know, and like I said, and it gets into more of the physical aspects of the fasting part. And I just want to read I read like a couple more paragraphs on this real quick, where it says fasting frees up energy so healing can begin. But I'm gonna jump down to here. It says, during fasting, we rest our system from the constant onslaught of foodstuffs. We usually think of food as giving us energy, so it can be a new way of thinking to understand how the food we eat actually requires energy. But what we're getting that spiritual nutrients from the scriptures, man. That's our food. Matthew's 4:4. Let me bring that out real quick. Matthew 4:4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. So this is what's going to keep us going. This is our spiritual food that trumps all physical eating. Why you think Yahweh Shah? Why you think Yahweh Shah? When he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, in this instance here, he was able to overcome through the word of the Lord. And he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights because the number 40 is a very significant number. It's a very spiritual number. You know, many different people I was looking up, many people be questioning, the number 40, but people just know that it's a spiritual number and it has high significance. We know it's a significant number unto the Most High because the Most High deals with numbers as well, but not on a way, in which the world deals with them, getting into, all of this madness and, what I mean, all that other stuff, philosophies and stuff like that. But the number 40 is a very significant number. And you got to know that Yahweh Shah coming into this world, in the flesh, when he walked the earth as a perfect man, he was going through, different things. And this fast that he did for 40 days and 40 nights help him, in these different instances to regenerate those brain cells for him to get on that higher frequency, to get on that level that he was supposed to carry out this ministry and to be in a walk in perfect form as a man walking upon the face of the earth, man. Yahweh Shah came upon the earth 4 or 5 other different times, but this time he was able to get it done perfectly. Why? Because he learned from those past experiences and him being renewed on the face of the earth this time, and the Lord allowing him to do that 40-day and 40-night fast for him to be able to overcome all these different mental obstructions. So you got to look at it. We got to look at ourselves as Yahweh Shah, man. And know that if our big brother do it and we looking up to the stead of our big brother, that we should be able to do it too, Lord willing. If the Lord is willing to have that mercy upon us and we continue to strive for that perfection, you know. So it says digesting, assimilating, and metabolizing. So this is what the body does. It has to digest, assimilate, and metabolize the food. These activities require a great deal of energy. It is estimated that 65% of the body's energy must be directed to the digestive organs after a heavy meal. So when you eat a heavy meal, how are you really able to focus upon the scriptures? The majority of your energy and your spirit is being boggled down by a heavy meal with fats, proteins, and starches. And that's another thing for brothers to know. You really shouldn't mix proteins and starches within the same meal, because when you mix proteins and starches in the same meal, it protein takes a heavy amount of time to digest, and starch, it starts to digest in your mouth, usually in your mouth first, breaking down. I believe it's called amylase, if I'm not mistaken. So they start off with 2 different digestive processes, and when you eat the starches on top of the proteins, since you have those 2 different forms of digestion of where they initially start at, now you're just slowing down the body's process to break all that down when you put them all in there at one time. You're supposed to eat one thing at a time, not combining starches and proteins. And a lot of starch foods is actually GMO foods, or foods that Esau made and that are not real foods. That's why you're supposed to eat to a certain specific dietary guideline, And Yeah, it says free up this energy and it can be diverted to healing and recuperation. It can detox and repair cells, tissues, and organs, eliminating foreign toxins as well as the natural metabolic waste, which are also toxins produced even by our healthy cells. And this is what the body will do during a fast. It will take advantage of that time and energy to do some house cleaning. The overloaded, overworked system, unable to properly handle all the toxins, has been storing any excesses in the tissues where they can be dealt with later. This is one of the great health benefits of fasting in that it offers this opportunity to play catch up. Okay, so I just want to get into that real quick, and you can see some of these other different benefits that you get from the fasting process. But once again, just to recap, we fast on this Day of Atonement for spiritual reasons. Whenever we fast, and for the most part, it's for spiritual reasons, but we also get those physical benefits as well. Which in turn, if we having those physical benefits, some of us suffer from heavy ailments and different things like that. That enables us to carry on stronger in the spirit when our physical is doing a lot better. We able to do more for the Lord. You know, so, with that, I hope this segment was edifying. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, the Bawanas, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith and live with love, truth, sincerity. Shalawam.